we got to get to the second half of the show. Now, this one has some facts. It has some theories. And I got a piece of evidence that kind of makes it all kind of come together in a nice, perfect package. So what am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Ecstasies, who we've mentioned numerous times, did something the other day, which and again, follow this man. If you want hot breaking news information with credibility, seek out Ecstasies on the socials. He put out a tweet, Hargeet, where it says, and again, this is coming directly from Ecstasies, that there is possibly going to be a Xbox partner preview event happening next week. According to Ecstasies, it's supposed to drop on the 23rd. Now, there's a couple of interesting theories here, and this is where we get into speculation with a piece of evidence. Now, I just saw a tweet from Massive Entertainment, makers of the Division 1 and 2, right? Okay, so they apparently are going to be showing off the new Brooklyn DLC for the Division 2 on the 23rd. Coincidence? Maybe. Now, I don't have it confirmed whether or not it's going to be specifically a Ubisoft only joint, because I'll read you the tweet. It says here, Brooklyn in the fall. Don't miss our showcase on April 23rd to learn more about the Battle for Brooklyn DLC coming to the Division 2. Now, interestingly enough, this is where we start getting into speculation plus some evidence. Jeff Grubb, to start the week out on Monday, basically confirmed that the so-called rumored Oblivion, which we all know is real, would be dropping the week of the 21st. He didn't say on the 21st, Hargeet. He said the week of the 21st. The 21st is Monday. Keep that date in your brain pans, ladies and gentlemen, because that is supposed to be when the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders for the United States are supposed to go live. For Canada, it's supposed to be on the 23rd. At least that is what Jake Randall is saying. And he's obviously well connected as well. This is, again, take it with all a grain of salt. Is this happening? Well, interestingly enough, Hargeet, normally their Xbox preview or partner preview event happens and has happened in March the last couple of years. We heard it was delayed. We don't know why it was delayed. I did not hear why it could be delayed, but it was delayed into April. Well, here we are. Now we're hearing that it could be as soon as next week. And what's happening next week? Well, a couple of things. One, you could, of course, get the shadow drop that we keep hearing that is Oblivion. So you say, well, wait a second. It's a partner preview event. Yes. Virtuos is the one that did this remake or remaster. They're a partner. That makes perfect sense. They're also partnered, Hargeet, with Ubisoft for a multitude of things. This could be an event where not only does Ubisoft have their own, but they could be a part of this event that's supposed to be happening next week. And again, for the love of the gaming gods, ladies and gentlemen, are we finally going to get the Final Fantasy VII remake announcement for 2025 second half? Because that is also rumored to be happening this year. Obviously, we know it's been on Sony's machine forever. And I say machines, PS4, PS5. Switch 2 actually had it at their showcase. And the one that looks like the one that got left at the left at the dance, you know, is Microsoft. Well, hopefully Xbox will be able to say to the world, Final Fantasy VII Remake finally coming. Here's the partner event. We're releasing it this year. Maybe it's a shadow drop. Maybe it's, you know, before June. Maybe it's second half. I don't know, but there's a lot happening, and it does seem that Xbox is at the center of the conversation. Let's get your thought on the partner preview event.
Yeah, like I was saying this morning, I think we're at the showcases that Xbox has been putting out for the last few years have been all really good. So We'll see what's in this one. Hopefully it does have that. It is 16. That still hasn't come, right? So Final Fantasy 16 as well. So hopefully that comes over, and then you get Final Fantasy 7 remake as well. But yeah, like there's plenty of games that supposedly will be coming as well, right? So we'll see if Oblivion is one of them. That's an interesting thought that it's a partner making it, therefore it's a partner thing. But then again, they could just say, hey, whatever, we have partner preview with a couple of Xbox announcements as well. It doesn't necessarily mean they can't. At this point, they might as well just have every show as something from Xbox. They still have to announce Towerborn, which has got to be imminent, right? So
that's happening on the 29th, I think. I'm pretty sure it's the 29th.
Is it already announced? Yeah. It's already announced. Okay. So maybe they show some of that because that's a partner game too. Right. So maybe they'll have something to show about that. And hey, it's coming out soon. Right. So there's plenty. I'm sure it'll be a decent show. But it's I don't know how many Xbox games will be there. Probably not much. But maybe to your point, hey, any partnered game is fair game, and they'll put those there. I wonder if they'll have an announcement of a new partnered game. That'd be awesome. But we'll see. All right, beyond like a remaster. But yeah, we'll see what they do there. But yeah, I guess next week we'll have that, and then we have the showcase. Not too much longer, right? About a month-ish later, we got the showcase coming. So yeah, it's just one thing after another. There's a lot of news as we get closer and closer to that June timeframe, right? There's more and more stuff happening, and we get more and more announcements and things that are coming along. So yeah, and I'm wondering if Nintendo will have something as well to kind of go over sort of the after launch what happens stuff, because I still haven't heard about Call of Duty going over to Switch 2, which I mean it's got to be happening, right? It's part of that 10-year contract, so they've got to have a release for it, and I doubt it's going to come out at the same time in the fall with the new Call of Duty. So I'm assuming that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to show up at some point on Switch 2. And a whole bunch of other games, right? There's like they only announced one thing was the Tony Hawk game, right? That was like the only thing they had there.
Yeah, I mean you still can get Forza Horizon 5 as a possibility, right? That's
there's so many potential games, right? You definitely want to assume that all the games that are already on Switch 1 will show up on Switch 2. And maybe there's an update for them for like Minecraft or something like that. Maybe did they show Minecraft? I don't know if they had a Minecraft thing there or not, but that one you definitely want to have that updated. Yeah,
not on Switch 2.
Yeah, so I think that one's definitely one that they would likely port, right? I'm sure they'll make a Switch 2 version of that. So you could just assume that that's going to show up at some point. I don't know when that'll be, but whatever. And then they have a whole bunch of other smaller games like Ori, and then games that have come to PlayStation that could easily come over to Switch as well, right? So they definitely have some work there as far as showcasing all that. And then a whole bunch of other third parties. Forget Xbox, but like all the games that have skipped Switch 1, right? There's a lot of games out there, especially if you go back even to the Wii, right? The Wii and the Wii U. There were a lot of third-party games that skipped those consoles, and now they could easily run that, all those games, right? So they definitely bring a lot of those games forward to Switch if they want to. So that's just an interesting thing on their side too. But yeah, Xbox having a partner preview partner showcase. Right? It's just their normal. They'll have an indie one, and then they'll have like whatever, right? So there's just so much. They just have showcase after showcase all year. But these are small things. And then, you have the big June showcase, and then working with Keeley to do other things here and there. It's good times. We just keep getting more and more fun news. So let's see what they have. Hopefully it's good. I hope it's good. I'm sure they have a bunch of things. As far as their first party, I assume a majority of that you're going to see that come on June showcase, right? So, but we'll see.
It is. Like I said, it is pretty crazy when you keep seeing these games stacked up. And granted, not everything is going to Xbox Game Pass. We all understand that. There's going to be stuff that you're going to buy, but there a good majority of things releasing on Xbox are getting Game Pass deals. And on top of, again, this, you still have the BioShock game coming out from Ken Levine, right? That's coming out supposedly this year. You also have GTA. Yeah, Judas.
And then there's a BioShock 4 in the works.
There's a BioShock
right?
4. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have Mafia coming. You have Borderlands
God, the Old
coming.
Country, that looks fantastic. Yes.
And that's all Take-Two. That's just all Take-Two, right?
Yep.
GT
Borderlands 4 is obviously the same day as the Bungie joint, which, and again, this
Marathon
has got some hurdles, man. Again, I kept saying $40 like it was confirmed. It's not confirmed. I've actually heard from two other people that it might be $60. Don't do that. Please don't do that, Bungie, because if that's the case, your game is dead.
Do you now? This is a crazy question. Do you think that they take some of the feedback, because it hasn't been as positive as for Marathon? This is, as maybe they hoped, and strike a deal with Microsoft to put it in Game Pass?
I mean, they could, sure. I mean, they're not going to put it in PlayStation Plus. That I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
You know what, Hargy? That's something I think we were going to come back to at some point, because that is a good question. Maybe the lukewarm response kind of spooks them a bit and be like, hey, listen, we got to get a deal. But that's also Sony. You know what I'm saying? Sony would have the final say because they are 2/3 of the board now. It's not like it was before 2/3 Bungie. Because of the failure, now it's 2/3 Sony. So Sony's the one that's making the pecking order or the big decisions. And I think
and it's two parties, right? In this case, they also have to see if Xbox wants to do that deal.
That's
right.
Also something.
Another interesting point, right? But it'd be interesting to see, right? It is right up their alley. Like, this is a shooter box, right? The Xbox is so fine. It's Bungie, right? Big history with Xbox. So could they do it? Maybe, right? But that'd be an interesting one. That would be a killer announcement, having a 10-day Game Pass for a Sony studio, right?
I mean,
besides MLB The Show, which we had that for a while, right? So
listen, Hargeet, at the end of the day, we as Xbox gamers are eating good, right? We keep winning. Your value is respected because you're just getting so many games. But Que Asante, I do want to talk about this Xbox partner preview because, like I said, this isn't some sort of a new show that we've never heard of before. This happens normally in March. It has happened in March the last couple of years. The running rumor is that it was delayed. Now, you know what? Actually, hold on. Let me just kind of pause the show for a second and say this, folks. You're doing it. Hargeet Chani is officially 60 subscribers away from, well, now less than that. It's 57 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So what I'm going to do, folks, is, again, we're here for you. We enjoy hanging out with you guys and girls, guys and gals, every time we're doing it live, whether it be on Kay's show, my show, or wherever Hargeet turns up. And I hate asking. I'll never ask for myself because, like I talked about it today, we're givers, right? We'd rather give the shirt off our back than take anything from anyone because that's just who we are. But I'm asking for your help now. There are 637 people watching live. That's a lot of people. He needs 57 subscribers to get to 1K. That's not asking a lot. Like I said, I know maybe you've never heard of Hargeet Chani. Well, I don't know how that's possible because he's on 157 different shows, but you know what? He's here every Wednesday, and he has been here for years. I'm going to drop the link in there one more time. I'm actually going to drop it a couple more times, but I'm asking you as a friend to go and subscribe to this man's channel because he does a lot of work there. He does a lot of work for the community, and there's something about Double Barrel Gaming, and we did this with the Iron Lords all those years ago. When we actually did, I did a show. I was nobody. I had gotten my 1K. And they were struggling. Could you imagine that? The freaking Iron Lords were struggling to get to 1K. And I did a, what the hell did I call it? I think I called it a community spotlight podcast. And we got them to 1K live on the air. They got me to a 10K live on the air a couple of years ago. And we have done this for a lot of smaller content creators. We helped Ham Solo get to 1K. Plenty of them. It's not something that we don't wear a badge of honor. We like doing it because giving is our nature, and helping others is what it's all about. Like I live by my father's words, and treat others how you want to be treated. Well, this is one of those instances where trying to help someone in the community that does so much for us. It's constantly out here on these podcasts talking. Well, he has his own YouTube channel on top of everything. And you know what? To get him to 1K would be really, really cool. And to do it live on the air is something that we enjoy doing. So there's the link. I'll keep watching his channel, get to that one, hopefully the 1K before we get on out of here. But Kay Asante, let's talk about the Xbox preview event, because this is a partner event, right? It's with their partners. Virtuos is a partner who was working alongside Bethesda to do the Oblivion remake. Again, this is just putting the evidence together. It's an evidence board, folks. Just imagine it in front of you. You have Jeff Grubb, very credible man, says that it's dropping next week. What happens next week? Oh, the Xbox preview event's happening. Oh, what a shocker. And on top of that, you hear that today, the Division DLC also being announced on the 23rd, which is supposed to be the day of the partner event. I just say where there's smoke, there is fire. Let's get your thoughts.
Absolutely. I do not disagree at all. I mean, we and Hargeet already spoke about it. They spoke about their problem with too many games and where to place them, right? And that problem is not getting worse. It's not getting better. It's getting worse, right? Where's Contraband gonna go? Have we still heard about what was it? What's the game that had a gameplay that nobody could understand? That game has been floating around for a long time, that they didn't actually come out with, made by the Sea of Thieves developer. There's still so many in the tank, right? So much in the tank, and they don't know where they're placing things. And we hear these code names for years and years and years, and eventually, these things, these projects are a layer cake that take many years to make, but eventually they have to be done. Like eventually, it doesn't matter how long it takes. At some point, pens down, you're done, right? So then the problem becomes, where do they release it? And that's what we're seeing. Everwild, yes, thank you so much. Yes, Everwild, right? There are so many games we know of, games we've heard about, code names that haven't even turned into real projects yet, and all the while they have preview events, or they have events where they're showing you in previous years, 6-7 games that are coming out this year in the first half used to be 1 game per year the previous years, right? So they're literally like just blowing it out of the box here with all the games they're releasing, to the point where I kind of, and guys, like, I'm excited about it, and Hargeet and Boom, please, like, don't get me wrong, I'm very excited about it, right? I think this is awesome, but I feel like, aren't you training like, to Hargeet's point, sit on it, aren't you training the consumer to expect unrealistic expectations every year? Because what you're doing here is unrealistically crazy right now.
It is.
Right? You could have just been chill with Avowed and been cool till 2026, and now you're releasing more, to the point where by November, no one will even remember that Avowed was at the beginning of the year. Like, it's crazy what they're doing. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, is there a partner preview? You're damn right there's a partner preview. And there'll be many more shows after that, because there's too much in the damn tank, right? And even better now, which, if you think about it, is very interesting, that we find ourselves that them being third-party friendly now means they have even more to show.
Yeah.
No one's a competitor, like, ever. Everyone wants them to show their wares, because much like Keighley, if you don't have Keighley, you have Microsoft, and each of them commands eyeballs. Obviously, Keighley commands all the eyeballs. But if Keighley's not having a show and a partner preview Xbox show is coming out, damn well they're going to be talking about PlayStation. Damn well they'll be talking about Switch. Damn well they'll be talking about Xbox and PC. You want your wares there.
Yeah.
So I will actually say, because of this, we put our wares everywhere move, their showcases are going to be far more like bombastic because of it. Because now everybody can show their stuff there now at this point. There is no competition stopping them from doing so. So yeah, I think it's awesome. I think that more and more you're going to start seeing that it's just a mainstay of Xbox now. In order for them to continue to perform at the high clip they are, they're going to have a lot of showcases. And every time there is a showcase or an event, they're going to have to represent and be there in a big way, because every time they see you, it's a different code name. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those things. I mean, Hargeet kept alluding to it. He's talked about this many times before. You as well, Kay Asante, is the fact that we've come to a point of ridiculousness with these games,
Yeah.
right? Like, again, just look at what's happening for first party in 25. I briefly just kind of,